have both passed away. How do we change that title? So we talked about how probate is the process we change the title, right? So if these parents have no planning done, their estate goes to probate. The difference between having a will and going through probate and having no planning done going through probate is that when you have a will, it's distributed according to the terms of the will. Without any planning done, so with no will, no estate planning, no trust, it's distributed according to the California laws that dictate property distribution upon passing. It's called the intestacy laws. So either way, with no planning or with a will, it goes through probate, but with a will, it goes according to the terms of the will. Half, 30%, however you have directed in your will. If these parents had an estate plan, it goes according to the trust. They do not have to go through probate. And they just, most likely, a lot of the times the children will contact their professionals. Sometimes it's the person drafting the will. Sometimes it's anyone who can get them in touch with just how to administer this will. And it'll go according to that plan. So that was scenario one. The other scenario is, again, if a mother and father pass away, who takes care of the minor children? When there's no planning done, the court will appoint someone with no direction from the parents. So they will do their best and hope that it's in the best interest of the children. But when there is planning done, they heavily consider the parents' decisions. And so that's the difference between planning and not planning. Scenario three, there's a single person. They have no parents. Maybe they have siblings, but let's say they're in a coma. What happens then? If they have no planning, if brother and sister are arguing over treatment, the court's going to come in and appoint a conservator. With planning, they have the decisions that the person made in their documents. They have an agent that the person appointed in those documents. So things, even though they might be difficult, they can go a little bit more, hopefully, smoother than had there been no planning. So again, I know I phrased it in the way that says benefits of planning and the consequences of not planning. Benefits of planning, you avoid probate, you distribute it how you want, you choose guardians, you choose trustees. There's a lot of things that you can really tailor and make your own. When there is no planning, it's the probate that the family has to go through. There's cost, time, and a lot of burden. I've seen probates take a long time and be very, very difficult. And then you have the courts decide, or state laws decide how your property is going to be distributed, who's going to take care of certain things, who's going to make decisions about certain things. And then there's no incapacity planning. So there's not as much control. That's why I say estate planning can be empowering, even though it's intimidating. The feeling you have when you are done outweighs the intimidation or just the dread of doing it. Who should do it? I mean, I'm partial to that question. So I think most people should do it. If you own any property, you're going to go through probate. You want to avoid family conflict or burden. If that, is sometimes that's an issue. You have young children. There's a lot of reasons to do it. I threw in here other reasons to plan because I know a lot of people ask me about estate tax. I'm not really going to cover that too much. It doesn't apply to a lot of people. The exemptions are very high right now. Perfect. And so we might have our estate tax exemptions go down. Look out for those words in the news. If estate tax exemptions go down, a lot of people may have, or more people will have estate tax liability. So that's advanced planning. That's the reason I went in to get my LLM in tax law. But that's not as common, right? Because right now the exemptions are very high. A married couple can own 23 million in assets and not have any estate taxes. But Biden wants to bring that down. So there will be more exposure, but that's not the primary reason people come into my office. The primary reason people call me is everything I said before this, but I did want to bring your attention to this because it is an important issue. It's just not a very common one. And that's it. That's it. Okay, so we're good. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you again.